95.5 WFMS. Good morning. It's Jim, Deb, and Kevin on this Monday morning, coming off a busy weekend.
Where's my bill? Oh, there it is.
Did you get your coffee cup, too? Because it was sitting there.
Yeah, I got my coffee cup, and I just cleaned. I wasn't here Friday, and coffee was still there from Thursday.
Oh, we mentioned it Saturday
thanks
morning.
for cleaning it out.
Well,
I appreciate
I didn't know that was our
really
job.
nice. Yeah.
If you were saving it
but
for
we enjoyed the fuzz that was
the Science Fair
fuzz.
project?
Yeah, Science Fair project.
But it's cleaned out now?
That's good to know.
It's all seven pressure.
Now, when you say cleaned out, you actually use soap. You didn't just do the rinse. See, that's what I was worried about.
Soap?
He rinses it.
Yeah, lukewarm water.
Please help us.
It's fine.
It's fine and dandy. It's 64 degrees on this Monday morning. A little rain here and there. It's going to be like that off and on throughout the day. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on WFMS. 95.5 WFMS. How about starting your Monday off with a little good news?
All right, how about this? A guy in England raised money for charity by climbing the 3 tallest mountains in the UK. He did it with a refrigerator on his back.
What?
He had some sort of harness strapped up so he could carry it like a backpack, but it was a refrigerator. Here's the reason why. He says the refrigerator represents the burden that mental health can have on all of us, and he wanted to bring that attention, make a visual of what that really is like. Great idea.
Well,
but he just climbed 3 tallest mountains in the UK doing that. And a cop in Florida delivered a baby on the side of the road, and his chest cam got the whole video.
Oh, wow.
He's been a cop for more than 20 years. It's his 3rd baby that he delivered. Mom and kid are doing great. Here's the audio.
She's ready to go. Okay, all right, look at me. Look at me. Breathe through, all right, Mama? Is this your first baby? No? How many?
This is 6.
6? Woo, y'all need a better hobby, okay?
Wait, she's pushing.
Give me a 52.
Ah, she's coming.
There we go. I got a baby. Don't pull, don't pull. There you go, Mama. I told you I didn't want to deliver a baby, another baby. Oh, pretty little girl.
He's so excited for her.
Yeah,
Goodness. It's good news for you at 6:13.
95.5 WFMS, a Monday morning, and the time has come here to put a smile on your face with Kevin's bad joke worth repeating.
Well, this is interesting. A frog got his DNA test back.
A frog got his DNA test back.
Yeah, and he's part Scottish, part Irish, and a tadpole.
Oh, my gosh. Wait a minute. You said we would laugh.
Oh, you'll repeat it, too. You'll laugh and repeat it.
And a tadpole. Oh, geez.
Oh, enjoy that.
Where do you get this stuff?
95.5 WFMS, a great show on Saturday night.
Yeah,
And
Thomas
you had a
Rhett.
very special guest with
I was
you.
able to take my grandson Landon to his very first concert ever.
How about that?
And he was just thrilled. There's some pictures of it on our Facebook page.
Great pictures.
That you can see. We also put a flash poll up there asking you some of your favorite, what was your first country or just in general concert?
Yeah.
Mine was Donna Fargo at the Indiana State Fairgrounds.
Really?
Years ago.
My first concert was at the Indiana State Fairgrounds.
Who was it?
As a little girl, I went and saw Loretta Lynn.
Oh, yeah.
And my grandmother, Evie, walked me up to the stage. I still remember this like it was yesterday. And I handed Loretta Lynn a rose.
Oh,
The security
really?
guard let me go up there. And, of course, it was a nighttime show, and the spotlight was right there on me. And I handed her that rose, and I thought that was the neatest thing ever. I've always loved Loretta Lynn and never got to interview her over the years.
No, that's true. Yeah.
That was my first. As a teenager, it was ZZ Top at Market Square Arena.
Sure. A lot of folks commented, some folks said Billy Ray Cyrus at the Indiana State Fair
that
when it
was
was
a
Free
show.
Stage was their first show.
Yeah.
they
Huge
ever
crowd,
attended.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, his experience was obviously great. Cole Swindell, I got the chance to go backstage and meet Cole. He was the nicest guy.
He
They
always
talked
is nice.
baseball because Landon plays baseball. They talked baseball. It was great. And the couple in front of us, there was a couple of it in front. And, of course, everybody stands
Yeah.
for the show. Even though you have a seat,
Yeah.
you stand. And this very nice younger couple in front of us, she turns around and notices Landon is trying to see around her husband. And she says to her husband, sit down. and I said, oh, he didn't have to do that. She goes, no, he's fine. He's tall enough. He can sit and still see. I want this young man to be able to see his
Could Landon
his show.
stand on his chair?
Well, then it kind of bothers the people in front of behind him then too, and it wasn't really safe. But
Yeah.
he was not bothered by it. There was plenty of ways to see it. So.
Well, you did it up right. You got him a hat.
Yeah.
Thomas
Well,
Rhett
you know,
hat.
when you say you want to go to the concert, he asked me over a year ago if he could go to the show. He loves
Oh,
Thomas
bless his
Rhett.
heart.
So I got him the tickets, and then we get there and get something to eat. He wanted nachos. I think those are like $9.
Yeah.
He wanted the Gatorade. It was like $6.50
You
for
got
the Gatorade.
an expensive date.
And then And then he wanted, I guess, Steak and Shake. I know they have their own little. It's called the Shake Shack or the Shake Bar.
Yeah.
There, and he had to get a shake there for like $11 as well.
Sure.
And as we're leaving, he's like, "Hey, can I get a hat?" I'm like, "Of course." And it was like, $39 for the hat. I was like, "Wait a minute." No, it was great. It was great.
Picture him,
But
his
here's
ears
the
are kind
problem.
of coming out.
Yeah. You've got other grandkids, so we got a busy, expensive summer.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah,
a good show.
It was fun. Yeah, but we got there so early to do the meet and greet with Cole Swindell. It was like 6:30.
Oh, yeah.
And then Thomas doesn't go on stage till almost 9.
Oh, yeah.
And we got through several songs of Thomas, but then he turned to me and says, "Pepple, I'm tired."
You're right.
So
And you
we
know what
left.
you said? I am too.
Yeah, so we left before the very end of the show. But what a great show.
That really was. What a great
Enjoyed it.
memory.
Dave Smith, by the way, is going to be a mega star.
Nick Smith,
He
yeah.
was fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Now,
so-
Jimmy, you didn't share. What was your first show?
Glenn Campbell, Fort Wayne Coliseum.
Oh,
There you
you've
go.
always been a Glenn Campbell fan.
Dad took me.
Love for you to comment on our Facebook page. Tell us your first country concert or concert in general. We'd love to hear about it.
95.5 WFMS. Jim, Deb, and Kevin. Kevin's got your Nash News now. And Carly Pierce did a nice job Saturday.
Yeah, but we weren't surprised.
No.
Details on that coming up. Chris Lane was performing a cover of Garth Brooks' Friends in Low Places last month when he fell backwards on stage. He was standing on the, what are those called, the floor wedges, Jim? That's the speakers that the artist can hear.
Yeah, the
Speakers
monitors?
painted to monitors, yeah.
Monitors.
He was standing on one of those and just fell
Well,
backwards.
don't stand on those.
Yeah,
Well,
stand on
he
the
found
floor.
that out the hard way, but he kept singing throughout the whole thing. So he's
Really?
laying on his back, boots up in the air, and he's just singing away.
I got friends.
in low places.
We've had a lot of
Because the show
country
must
artists
go on.
fall.
That's right. Dierks Bentley and Miranda Lambert recorded 3 duets for the CBS drama Fire Country. The new songs, 2 of them at least, Saved and Still Burning, will be on Friday's episode, and another called Something in the Water will air on the season finale on the 19th of this month. So country stars get some TV coverage, at least their music.
Yeah.
And Kentucky native Carly Pierce performed the national anthem at the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. She did an awesome job, and as Deb pointed out earlier, she looked beautiful. She always does. Carly says, "My Kentucky heart is the fullest. Thanks for having me here today." Of course, she grew up in Kentucky as a member of the Kentucky Bluegrass Hall of Fame, too.
Yeah.
It looks like she had some girlfriends with her. They all had their fancy hats.
Yeah,
Yep.
oh, yeah.
Yep. That's your Nash News Now. It's 7:28.
95.5 WFMS Monday morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Jim, Debbie, Kevin. Mentioned the ACM Awards are going to be this week, Thursday, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And one of our favorites, Jordan Davis, has been nominated for Male Artist of the Year. That's pretty good for him.
Oh my gosh!
a very good
well,
job.
we knew he was quite the talent a couple of years ago, but for him to be in that category, he has definitely made his mark.
Yep, he certainly has. We talked with Jordan Davis.
You were talking about you didn't want to look back and have any regrets, 'cause I think
Yeah.
you had taken a job in was it environmental?
Yeah, I was doing environmental science.
Yeah, and you realized you would always look back and wonder what if.
Yep,
And
what
look,
if-
look what you did, and look at the
I
hits
know,
that you
right?
had.
Goodness, if that's not a story to go by to anybody out there listening.
Follow
Yes,
your
and I
dreams.
said that the other day. We had almost a Q&A kind of thing after a show, and somebody asked that, and I said that I was like, man, just go after it, go do it,
Yeah.
and because you never know. And I was like, man, I'm sitting up here, so I don't like. It's just crazy. So
When you signed your record deal, I heard that you had only performed publicly like 4 or 5 times.
with a full band, I'd played under 10 writers rounds in Nashville.
Wow.
And I had, when I got my record deal offer, when I got a phone call saying that I was going to get offered a record deal, I had not played a full band show in my life,
Never?
Wow.
ever.
Wow.
Wow.
So I played that next week. We went down to Alabama, played a little bitty bar in Alabama, fell in love with it. But I think it's great it happened that way because, like, I still feel like I have so much to grow as far as, like, a live performer and entertainer. So I'm kind of glad that it worked out that way.
In that 2 years since it passes, anything surprised you that you didn't know about?
This is such just a crazy thing to be here, like crazy to think that this is happening. But man, there's just been so much I've learned from being out on tour with other bands and as a writer, and it's just been fun.
Since talking to you 2 years ago, you have brought back the beard.
Yeah, man.
You're one of the first guys to have that.
I know.
We kind of
We-
talked about it and
Yeah.
how cool that was. And now, no offense, but they're dime a
I'm
dozen
looking
now.
around
You were
like,
the original
yeah,
guy.
everybody-
You were
we
it.
started it.
You were
man.
it, man.
Yeah, man, it definitely was a. I mean, I've always had a beard, but
Yeah.
like, I definitely noticed a lot of
Uh-huh.
fellas walking
Yeah,
around with the beard now,
Uh-huh.
and some of them are better looking than mine. I'm like, hey, dude,
We're still working on that beard endorsement of some kind.
I am, man.
Gotta work on that.
It's still, dude. It's still a free agent. You know,
Oh,
so I'm looking to get.
The original.
Brett
Yeah.
Eldridge has an Instagram account for his dog. You could have one for your
I need to
beard.
have one for my
Oh,
beard.
Yeah.
that's perfect.
But you know what scares me about that is it's going to get more followers than me, and then I'm going to have to shut it down.
Jordan Davis, always fun to talk with, too. And wish him the best of luck. Thursday at the ACM Awards is up for male vocalist.
He could bring home an award.
Yeah. 95.5 WFAMS. Monday morning, Jim, Deb, and Kevin, of course, over the weekend. A big weekend for Deb. Her son, Griffin, graduated from college.
Yes.
And he was Indiana State.
Indiana State University, loved his experience there. If you have somebody that's going to be heading there in the fall, I mean, he just absolutely embraced the whole thing.
And has a job waiting for him.
and made lifelong friends.
Yeah,
Yeah, that I know
true.
will be in his wedding one day. And yes, he's set up to be work as a consultant in Fishers. It was a day of celebration, the whole entire day.
Yeah. I saw some of your pictures. Great pictures.
Completely emotional, you know. I don't. What it is about this? It's like you're so proud. I wasn't like sad. It was just like I just can't believe it goes
It's
by so
joy.
fast.
Happiness, yeah.
So your heart was just bursting with pride. And so his girlfriend also attends Indiana State. She's a year younger, and she was sitting next to me in the seats and happened to mention that, you know, anyone who's a student there who was participating in commencement had been warned in a kind way that, you know, we're not going to be doing anything outlandish
No
on
stunts.
stage.
Yeah.
No stunts, no drawing attention to yourself.
Good warning.
They're trying to keep things moving,
Yeah.
you know, and they don't want to take away from somebody else that's after you. So they had been warned that if something like that happens, you will be kicked out of commencement. Kicked out.
Ooh.
And so, you know, they were told they could decorate their hats, that whole deal. Griffin chose not to. And he gets up there, and I'm trying to get my camera ready just as, you know, I don't want to miss, because they move so quickly. And they do announce their names individually. And I didn't want to miss them announcing his name and walking across the stage. So I started at about 2 or 3 people before Griff. And they get up there, and as it, you know, it never fails. The person directly in front of Griffin decided he would get up there and dance a jig.
And do something, okay.
And I'm not kidding when I say I want you to picture football practice when you have to jump up in the air and you have to bring your knees into your chest.
Yeah.
He did that about 7 or 8 times after he'd been
Really?
handed his diploma. He's standing in the center of the stage. He faces the crowd, and he does that 7 or 8 times, and the crowd goes nuts. I mean, they just like uproar, loud and screaming and laughter. Luckily, the person who was announcing the names waited a few seconds, but it was still, the crowd was still going. So Griffin's name was drowned out a little bit.
That's why they ask you to not do that.
And then he crosses the stage. Of course, we screamed for Griffin, but by the time he got back to his seat, he said the guy, when Griffin sat down, the guy who had gone before him goes, "Bet I threw you for a little loop there, didn't I?" and Griffin goes, "If you want to call it that."
Yeah.
You know, he was just frustrated.
And now my mom wants to talk to you.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Could you do a Griffin Honeycutt real loud? Just kind of do the announcer voice you were doing for him. Okay, here we go.
His middle name's
Next up.
Michael, by the way.
Yeah.
Michael.
Griffin Michael. That's him walking across the stage.
Oh, okay, got
Yeah,
it.
this less than exciting. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, thanks,
Well, you can
thanks
hear
for
it.
that.
Yeah.
You can
So
hear
we
it.
got through it, but you know, it just never fails. The one person that's going to decide he's going to not
Right
follow
in
the
front.
rules is right before Griffin. So those we heard from several listeners who whose
wait.
their sons or daughters were graduating there this weekend, so they saw the whole thing. What's that,
Mr.
Kevin?
Troublemaker?
What's that?
Did you do something at your commencement?
No, I wouldn't have.
And by the way, he
But I would have
wasn't.
talked the kid into it that did do it. I would have talked Jim into doing something,
That's right.
going, "Go on, Jim, it'll be really
good.
funny."
Yeah.
And he was not
and
kicked
Deb
out.
will laugh.
He
Really?
went right back to his seat. Still participated in the rest of the ceremony.
See?
So I was a frustrated mother, but
There's
very happy
always
and proud.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look good.
And unfortunately, you're working with him right now.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, check out Griffin's photo in his cap and gown on Facebook.
95.5 WFAMS. Jim, Deb, and Kevin. Deb's got your daily dirt. And Nick Cannon has a special message.
He does. We'll share that with you here in about 30 seconds. But first, Kentucky native Carly Pierce performed the national anthem at the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. She posted a lot of behind-the-scenes photos. And you know what she posted was so funny? She posted a photo of several wigs. And she told us that in an interview before, that she wears what she calls snap-in weaves. And so if you're wondering, well, how her hair is so long, she has extensions, but they can come out at the end of the night. She says she just takes them, unsnaps
Right out of
them,
there.
and lays them on the counter.
Amazing.
And she posted several there that she had to choose from for her performance. She also posted her floral baby blue dress and quoted on the photo, "My Kentucky heart is the most full. Thanks for having me today." And I hear she did a wonderful job.
Yes.
Christina Applegate says she probably will never work on camera again. That's
Really?
due to being
Oh,
diagnosed
yeah.
with
That's
multiple
sad.
sclerosis, and she says she really has been struggling with that. Also, Nick Cannon says he has several kids and gets a lot of flack for it, and he would like you to know that he's able to spend quality time with all of them. So he says he's often told, look, if you have any more, you're not going to be able to spend time with your kids because you have so many.
Right.
Or at least have them live in the same neighborhood.
Well, because they have different mothers and things like that. So he's probably busy. Like, most people go run errands on the
He's been
weekends.
busy,
probably
all right.
making his rounds. Got to spend time with his children. 828, that is Deb's Daily Dirt, and it's sponsored by Mark Dietel Realty.
Deb's always trying to help out too, especially on these Mondays when you're planning your week on what kind of meals to make for the family or just for yourself. And that's why
Yep.
we have Deb's One Pot Meal.
Yes, this one pot meal is a one pot pesto tortellini, and it's only 3 ingredients. I mean, you just can't go wrong. Now, they say optional is Parmesan cheese, and
I
I
threw
don't
it on
think
there.
I don't think you put cheese and optional in the same sentence.
No.
Right now.
So let's make it 4 ingredients.
Okay.
Because that would make it even better. But yeah, so you just need a package of your cheese tortellini. You can get it in the frozen food section at the grocery store. Some broccoli and I'm forgetting something.
Pesto.
Oh, your pesto, yeah, because that's in the title of the recipe.
Kind of part of it.
Yeah, it's super easy to do. It says it takes less than 15 minutes. So dinner
Yeah.
made tonight. One pot pesto tortellini with some broccoli, and then of course that optional Parmesan cheese. The recipe's on our Facebook page, by the way.
And you could probably add, I think you mentioned this earlier, 2 little garlic
Bacon?
bread.
Bacon?
Bacon. Yeah.
You
could
had
do a
tried to
little
add bacon to everything. Yeah,
Bacon
but
makes it better.
They don't mention the garlic bread, but surely that would be good.
Sure, and I think you're right.
Well,
that
Jim, there are
bacon
no
would
rules. If
really-
it's your kitchen, you can do whatever
That's
you
exactly
want.
right. So
You could even put some chicken in there if you wanted.
Good.
And bacon.
And bacon.
More bacon.
Thank you, Kev.